I hadn't been looking forward to this last Thursday for a good while. And of course, I knew it was coming. It was on the calendar. And it was August 3rd. And I'm thinking, how am I going to deal with August 3rd? And you may ask, what's August 3rd? Well, August 3rd is my mom's birthday. And she had passed away in January. And this past Mother's Day was a very difficult day for me. And so I knew that come August 3rd, that would be a rough day. For those of you that have not experienced, let's say, a loss of a parent or maybe even a child, you kind of understand. You can put yourself there, and it's not a pleasant thought, but for those of you that have lost a parent or both parents or kids, I mean, I don't even have to say anymore. We're right there together. And our heart's just connected. Because you go, I feel it. I feel you. And then sometimes I ask people that I know have gone through loss, I go, does it ever get any easier? They say, oh yeah. The first year, when it's the certain dates or a holiday, it gets easier, but it never gets easy. You never say those days and you don't have a smile on your face. And that's a part of what it means to be around after someone that's been close to you is no longer here. And so, you're going to kind of go in and out and up and down emotionally on those days. But, to me, I can't wait for the next day to get here. I don't want to wish my life away, but during those times, I can't wait for August 4th. I can't wait for that day to be over. And it's understandable. But then there are times when there's nothing huge going on. It's not a particular day. Sometimes my wife quizzes me. She goes, do you know what today is? And as a man, I go, oh no, I hate this. I hate this. And so I go down to my mind real quick. I scroll down. Let's see, it's not your birthday. It's not our anniversary. It's not some Scottish holiday. So I think I'm okay here. I can't be held too accountable. And sometimes it's either the birthdays or the days her parents passed away. Because I'm getting the feel that you don't forget those days. They're locked in. But there's other times when maybe you're dragging, you're feeling down, you have the blues, and you can't figure it out. What's going on? It's not a rainy day or Monday, which always gets you down. It's a sunny Saturday. It could have been yesterday. And no one is ill, and you still have your job, and you're thinking, I don't know what's going on. I know something's going on, but I can't put my finger on it. And if you're a female, you just want to have a good cry. If you're a man, you want to shoot something, you want to blow something up, right? That's how we deal with it. Or we go down on the road with a real loud motorcycle. I mean, that takes care of lots of things. It does. It takes care of all kinds of stuff. So you're not sure what's going on in here, right? You know something is. You just don't know. You wish you could figure it out. Maybe sometimes we can, but oftentimes that beats me. Just go get a good pizza and, hope for the best. That's what we do. But here in Proverbs, a verse to take a look at, and that is here, every man's way is right in his own eyes. The but or the however. See, that's not the end of the sentence, the end of the verse, the end of the thought. Two big thoughts there. Every man, woman, every person basically does what they think is right. But the end of the story is, give God his say. It's the Lord who weighs the heart. So, the opening thought is everyone thinks that what they are doing is the right thing to do. Right? I mean, we do. And it's not that we think that every single thing all the time is the right thing to do. Every word I say all the time is the right word to say. We're not there, but generally speaking, how I live my life is the right way to live. How I raise my children is the right way for me to raise my kids. How I handle my money is the right way for people to handle money. My thoughts about God are the way we should be normally thinking about God. And so, generally speaking, maybe I wish some things were different. Maybe wish I had more of this or less of that. But given what I have been given in life, I'm doing the best I can, and I think I'm doing okay. Everyone thinks that what they're doing is beyond criticism, for the most part. So either agree with me, be okay with me, or get away from me. Right? Yeah, either agree with. If you don't agree with, just grant me some space to be okay with. And if you can't be okay with, and you can't agree with, then get away. I don't want to hear it. But the next thing is very important too. It's this. It's that God's looking at the why more than at the what. All we can see is what we see. And give God his place. Let's say, for instance, everything's going well in your life like it ever does, but let's pretend. Everything's going well in your life. It's going good, the school, the job, the family. Everything's moving forward. Everybody's getting along. The future looks inviting. I think things are going to be just fine. And I go, you may be getting the attention, the approval, or the applause. Just maybe you're getting the attention. People are going, man, you're doing well, and you feel it. And that may be fine. Can I just say, however, God is paying attention to what can't be seen. He sees, but he pays attention. It's not that it's important, but he sees something that we can't see. He pays attention to the heart. That which is going on inside, that which drives us, that which makes us feel a certain way. Think certain thoughts, make certain decisions, the attitudes that we have, that's the heart. The heart is who we are, more than what we do. And I put it this way, it's not that the what's not important, but the why is more important. No one would ever say it's not important what you do. Well, of course it is. If you don't think it's not important what you do, you'll end up in trouble probably. Because other people think it's important what you do, what you don't do. There are things called lines or laws. And you cross that and you get caught, well, other people are going to tell you that was pretty important. Shouldn't have went that far. There's a price to be paid. So, of course, what's important, but it's not the most important. And I go to play this verse out in Proverbs. I'm going to kick on over to 1 Corinthians and Paul and see what's going on in part of 1 Corinthians 4. There's tons of stuff, of course, in all the Bible, but 1 Corinthians 4, 1 Corinthians 5, it just goes on. You have to understand that the church at Corinth is kind of messed up. In fact, it's more than kind, it's really messed up. There's a lot of sin in that church. There's a lot of things going on that Paul's having to go like this. Come on, y'all. Come on now, come on. Even non-Christians, even those who are, they don't even do that. Like, in some ways, you're worse than those that don't even go to church. You're worse in some ways than those that don't even name the Christ. You know that shouldn't be. And so he calls them out on stuff, but here's the second verse here in 1 Corinthians 4. It says, in this case, moreover, it's required of stewards that one be found trustworthy. Steward is someone who takes care of something for someone else. So, for instance, if I had like a boatload of money in my back pocket, and I got Sean up here and I say, hey, Sean, come here. Don't really just stay there. But if I would say, come here, and I say, I got all kinds of money. Here's my credit card. Here's the PIN. Here's the access. Here's some account information. And if you'd ever go online, I mean, there's a lot there, buddy, which some of you are thinking, well, they don't pay him so much. But there's a lot in there. And so I want you to take care of this for me. So it's not his money. It's my money, but for whatever reason, I'm preoccupied. I don't understand how financial things work, so I'm giving it over to Sean to take care of, but it's not yours. I want you to understand that. If I find out, if I see you going past my house in a bright, shiny sports car, music going up, playing the Beach Boys, I'm going to have trouble with that, all right? I'm going to have trouble with that. Yeah. Here, Sean, I'm saying this, but I want you to know how the rules work. It's not for you to talk back. You just stay there, okay? Just some of you know it. Okay, if you keep this up, I'm never going to do this again with you, which maybe is the point. Maybe you don't like this, but it's not your stuff, right? Don't go out and buy your wife diamonds. Don't. It's not your money. See, if you have a bank. And you have money in a bank, but you find out they keep messing stuff up, and you can't trust them anymore, what do? You don't put more money in that place, do you? You have a financial advisor, but every year after year after year, you keep losing money. You're probably going to change advisors because I don't think this particular steward of my stuff can be trusted, so something has to be done here. So that starts off, where we're at. So with that in mind, because context determines meaning, right? I'll say that 100 times, 1,000 times. Context determines meaning. We get to verse 3 and 4. Paul continues. He goes, but to me it's a very small thing that I should be examined by you or by any human court. In fact, he says, I don't even examine myself. I am conscious of nothing against myself, yet I am not by this acquitted, but the one who examines me is the Lord. It seems like that Paul is being accused of not being trustworthy. Paul, you're not a good steward. It's not your stuff. Maybe it's our stuff, maybe it's God's stuff, but you can't handle that stuff in a way that causes us to put trust in you. Maybe God doesn't trust you, so he's being accused of certain things. And it's interesting what he says. He goes, you're examining me, maybe a court's examining me, but I don't even examine me. Now, don't take that Paul hasn't a clue what's going on, that he doesn't know where he's at or what he's doing. What he says is, as I look at my life, I am not aware, I'm not conscious that I'm doing anything wrong. What a statement. See, if I were to ask you to ask me, are you aware of anything in your life that needs correction? And most of us say, well, yeah. There's a couple things, and I know it shouldn't be that way. I thought maybe it would be different by now, but it's not. But I would agree with you. I need maybe confronted. I need some help. I need to change. Well, Paul's not there. He goes, I'm not aware of anything I'm doing wrong. I haven't said, my tongue hasn't slipped, and I can't remember how long. I don't have lustful thoughts. I don't think I'm a greedy person. I'm not coveting things. I'm not out for the glory that's due God. He goes, as far as I know, as I look at things, I'm high and dry, I'm squeaky clean. It's an amazing statement to make. But he says, although I don't even examine myself, just because I am conscious of nothing against myself, yet I am not by this acquitted. That's a legal term. I am not innocent. But if you haven't done anything that you know of that's wrong, how can you say you're not innocent? He goes, because I don't have the last say. And you don't have the last say either. Courts don't have the last say. The one who has the last say, the one who examines me is the Lord. That's what's going on. Wow. I think I'm walking tall. But that doesn't mean I am. That doesn't mean that people can't weigh in and speak truth. Doesn't mean that. I'm not necessarily innocent. Here, not knowing that anything is wrong doesn't mean that everything is right. Just because you're not aware doesn't mean that you shouldn't be aware of certain things. But often we go through and I don't know, I don't see anything. I mean, if you wanted to nitpick, maybe, but I don't think anything. I have no consciousness of something that's so important that needs to be changed. Maybe you can build a case against me. It seems Paul's saying that maybe you're right. When it comes to the trust issue, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong because I haven't even examined myself. You may be right, but it doesn't really bother me. I'm okay with that. I'm not aware. I think I'm innocent because just because I think I'm innocent doesn't make me innocent. About a year ago, I was out in Arizona for a few days, and I had rented a car. And so I come back home, and I'm always checking these statements, and I go along to find how much actually they really charge me, because sometimes when you return the car, you don't know what the final charges are because of all these things they want to add on. Oh, you used a little bit too much window washer fluid, that's another, $10 or... It's crazy. And so I found out that there was an additional $35 charge, and I go, for what? So I call them up, and they say, well, you were charged this because we had to forward your information on to the Scottsdale Police Department. I'm like, for what? For a moving violation. And I'm thinking, you got the wrong man. You got the wrong car. Because nothing like that happened to me. And I am absolutely certain. I don't know who you're talking to. Your paperwork, somebody, you drop off the keys and you got a thing wrapped up. Well, someone must have got their keys wrapped up in my paperwork. I don't know what y'all doing out there. And by the way, even if they did have to, why do they have to charge $35? You know what I'm saying? It's like what a hit of the keystroke. Should be like a quarter. $35. I'm glad that's wrong. Well, I say you can go to this website and punch in whatever case number. I can't remember all the details, but there you can go and find out what's going on. Because I'm going, there's no way, because I wasn't speeding, because I didn't see any red lights, and nobody pulled me over, and a guy in a big hat didn't come out and talk to me. And well, I go on this website, whatever it is, must have been the police website, and there is a picture of me. There is a picture of me. And it's not someone who kind of looked like me. It was really me. And sometimes I drive and my glasses are on because I have my GPS in my phone. I think that's legal, looking at GPS. Because I don't know where in the world I'm at. When I'm in Arizona, I don't know where I'm at. And sure, that sure is me, driving and looking. I go, for crying out loud. Do you know what those rascals out there in Arizona do? You know what they do? They have these like cameras set up. Just giving you a heads up. I don't know if they have police out there. I just think they have cameras. and they have cameras set out, and for some reason they know how fast you're going, and they're taking pictures all the time. You don't even know it. You don't even know it. And I'm going, for crying out loud. We have it's more than $35. That $35 was not like a deductible. I mean, there's a whole nother amount you got to pay because you went too fast. You know, that was a huge surprise to me because I never would have thought. I wasn't speeding down there. I wasn't even aware. And all of a sudden, with trickery out there, I've been found out. And now you all know. Why do I tell you? Because it's been a year now. I haven't been able to tell you for a while now because it just kept, that anniversary date of the speeding violations. I can speak about it now. It doesn't hurt quite so bad. But I had no idea. I had no idea. But there's the evidence. They're right. I'm wrong. I'm busted. Sometimes maybe you're talking to your spouse, you're talking to your kids. Next thing you know is this. Would you stop yelling? You guys ever get that? Would you stop yelling? I ain't yelling. If you want yelling, I can yell, but I'm not yelling yet. You want me to yell? I don't do that. I don't do that. Some of you guys might stop it. Stop doing that. I didn't know I was yelling. I just thought that, your hearing's going bad. So I just kind of upped it. I just upped it a little bit. I just wanted to communicate clearly, just so you knew I meant this. I didn't know, but to them you're yelling. So I go, I guess I'll dial it back some, but I wasn't aware of that. And so part of Paul's saying that sometimes we are guilty, we just don't know it. And so don't assume just because you're not aware that everything is going right. You're doing everything right. See, the other thing is that God knows what we don't know about us. Can I say this? He also knows that about other people. God knows what we don't know about us. And what he knows, what we don't know, is important. It's going on within us. He knows absolutely everything about us. He's ultimately, in the end, the God who knows, God who loves, but also the God that examines and the God that we answer to. I mean, we hope that everyone's walking like Paul's walking. I'm not aware of anything. I'm not doing anything. Whatever it is, I treat everybody well. I don't have all these issues. But even when we can walk that way, and we don't think that we've done anything wrong, when we think we're totally innocent, God knows things about us that maybe aren't so innocent. You go, oh no. So he goes on, he says, therefore, since it's God who really examines, don't go on passing judgment before the time. What time? The time until the Lord comes. Because when he comes, and you know he's coming, right? You know Christ is returning to this earth. Hopefully you know that. Some people are like, well, if he does, football season's just starting. Could he just hold off a little bit till after? He's coming back, and see, when he does, he's going to bring both to light the things hidden in the darkness and disclose the motives of our hearts. See, if he's going to disclose the motives of our hearts, I don't think I want him coming back. Because I'm pretty sure, and if we were really to be asked, do you think there's some stuff going on in your heart that you don't want God or anyone else to know about? And we're all going like that, I think so. I'm not exactly sure what's in there. I don't really know how I come across to people. I'm not sure. But I think there's some stuff in there that I'm not proud of, things that I don't want people to see. I don't want God to know. But you see, when he comes back, he's going to bring to light things hidden in the darkness. Doesn't mean it's bad stuff. It's stuff that we can't just see. It's hidden. It's dark. Not dark bad, but dark can't be seen. And he's going to see this stuff, and he's going to disclose. He's going to open it up so what is now not seen will be seen. They're going, oh my, I'm not so sure. I want that. Well, the way I put it is one day God will tell us. When you can't figure out what's going on, be feeling down, or you can't figure out what's going well, and you have a smile on your face, and you're lighthearted, and there's laughter that's there, that you can't account, where did that come from? So it doesn't always have to be the negative stuff. It can be the positive stuff. I don't know what's going on. Driving down the road, next thing I know, I'm laughing out loud. About what? I don't know, but it must be good. He could even disclose that. So it's not that he's just going to disclose the bad stuff. It's not that. He's just going to disclose the stuff that's hidden. He will reveal that which is now hidden. He will show us, the whys that's in the heart. He'll show us that. Therefore, careful with judgment on self. Would you be careful with your judgment of yourself? We're either too hard on ourselves or we're too easy on ourselves. Rarely are we fair with ourselves. I say this, it's difficult to be fair with yourself. Either we overestimate or we underestimate. I don't really know what's going on here much of the time. I don't. I know some of my actions. I can take a look at that stuff. But deep down within, I know some things going on. I know some motives. I know. But some of them I don't know. The result of that should be humility. That should be the result of, I don't really know what's going on. Paul said, I don't know. I'm not aware of anything, but I don't know. There could be cameras somewhere, right? There could be cameras. And we do know this, that really God is always watching. We know that. But don't take that as a bad thing. He's always watching. Part of that could be because he cares for you, right? He's watching out for you, that things that shouldn't happen don't happen. So don't say, he's watching, that's all bad. No, that's not all bad. Really, it's quite good. So it's tough. It's tough to know. I think oftentimes we're so hard on ourselves, aren't we? We're tough on ourselves. That often, I think we beat ourselves up. Why? Well, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't get nothing done. Well, what a way to go through life. You're going to keep beating on yourself and calling yourself names. See, if you're beating yourself and calling yourself names in order to motivate yourself, you know what's going to be really hard to do? Have peace and joy. How can you? All you do is slap yourself around. Yeah, God slapped me up the side of the head the other day. He did. See, to get my attention, God's got to bring a big 2x4. He does. Yep. Well, I don't know about that. Maybe he really doesn't, but maybe you just think he does. Because I say, careful with judgment of self, so therefore, careful with the judgment of others. And it's that we don't ever do that, because if you continue on in 1 Corinthians 4 and Corinthians 5 and into 6, there is judgment going on. And so judgment of itself is not a bad thing, but be careful what you judge and how you judge. Be careful with judgment of others, and here's why. All we can see are actions. We can't see motives, can we? Oh, she said she was sorry, but she really wasn't. And you know that how? Oh, I could just tell. Oh, so you're a motive reader. Oh, yeah. I have that gift ability. You know, I know about, I read a book, I saw a show on body language. And when I said this, well, her eyes shifted. She looked down. She got jittery. And so I know what that tells you, right? Because I read the book, I saw the program, I took a class, and that means, and there, boom. Careful with that stuff. See, there's the other thing. If we're not very good at knowing why we do what we do, what makes us think we're good at knowing why others do what they do, right? I don't even know what I do half the time. I don't know. Don't quiz me on it because I'll just say, I don't know. And if I don't know about me, I don't know about you. Here, we know the actions, we don't know the motives. If you see somebody dragging feet this morning, they're dragging themselves around, don't come to the conclusion they must not love Jesus. It just may be that August 6th is one of those days that kick in, and they're having trouble with August 6th. Because it communicates loss. If you're not gentle with yourself, here's what happens. Neither are you gentle with others. I want to show you a part of my heart. This is what it wants to say. Would you be gentle with me and my heart? My heart's sensitive, and so is yours. Be gentle with, I said, please, don't beat me up, please. Don't be hard on my heart, please. And you're saying the same thing. But if I beat me up, I will also beat you up. If I think poorly of me, I'm going to be thinking poorly of you often. And see, when I am actually living in humility, I also live in gentleness. Here, humble people are gentle people. They don't have harsh talk. They don't judge motives. Here again, we can judge actions some, but we don't judge motives. We don't judge what's behind that. See, Christ's going to come someday, and he says when he does, he's going to reveal this, he's going to disclose this stuff. And then it says, and then each man's praise will come to him from after God has looked at your heart. Do you get this? Each man's praise, your reward will come to you from God. The God that knows everything is going to honor me. That's not what I was thinking. I was thinking that when God sees the stuff in my heart that I can't see, the stuff that's hidden, when he discloses it, because he knows the bad stuff, he knows the gunk that's in there. I thought when God sees that, he's going to beat me up. Here it says, no, he's not. No, he's not. The praise was a word that could speak of you will get your reward, you will get what's coming to you, but mainly it's in a good way. When he comes, that stuff, he knows it's there. He'll bring it all to light, but when he's done, here comes his praise. I don't know what that looks like for sure. I don't know what that sounds like. But it sure is better that and aren't you glad it says praise rather than condemnation? Yeah. You know, Rick, if you were serious about God, if you love God, do you know what would be different in your life and how the church, don't you know, and in your wife and your kids and your family, don't you know? You undisciplined, sluggard kind of a cheapskate. shallow. And the names can go on and on and on, right? No good work. I mean, he could, but that's not what God does. He says, yeah, I know. But let me tell you guys something. You're here this morning because you love God, don't you? You love your families, don't you? Yeah. And no, you don't get it right all the time. Nobody does. But God sees the motives. And you want to serve him, don't you? You're going, yeah. And to know you is to love you, isn't it? It's true. It's true. Why can't people love me like if they just knew me? And God does. That's who you are. God says, I'm not coming with a 2x4. When I see the stuff that you want to keep hidden, the stuff that you're not proud of, God says, I'm going to let you know what it is, but then I'm going to honor you, and I'm going to reward you, and I'm going to praise you. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's exactly what God's going to do. If we're gentle with ourselves, could we be gentle with others? And if God's going to, and we know God's going to praise us, well, would it be okay if we started to praise others? Not in place of God, but we would see what's right more than what's wrong, because it's so easy to see what's wrong. So easy. But to see what's right, it takes the work of God. May we do that with ourselves, with other people. May we speak truth in righteousness into them, because we are his people. May we love each other as he loves us, because that's what we're called to do. Both because of and in spite of who we are in the deep places of our heart. I'm going to pray that in right now. Lord, thank you for the fact that you do know all, and that's good. And it's not that there isn't a judgment seat. Yes, there is. But it's when all said and done, there's going to be rewards, praise, and honor given to us, your people. I'd like to say, Lord Jesus, come quickly, and between now and then, may we be gentle with ourselves and gentle with other people, because in so many ways you are a gentle God. And with that we pray in his name. Amen.